carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Stevenson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. And a quick look now at the offense for the 49ers.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Stevenson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. We take it right on the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was in the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
On second down, it's Brown. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Baker. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense. Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. 80
weapon. 80 weapon. You're out.
To throw is Baker. Off the play fake. It's caught here by Adams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st down, it's Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Here's Baker to throw on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got to set.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I'm going to hit you all day.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Let's take a glance now at the starting defense for Seattle. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Stevenson. Over the middle, complete. That's Crawford. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 82 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down now, it's Brown.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for third down. Baker now, off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Now the ball comes loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Set, ready, 70 in 53, Mike 53. You must be ready.
They'll run on first down. Brown. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On second down, it's Brown. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Seahawks on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. This is Hunt. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Brown on the draw play. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the bootleg, Baker. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is it blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Come on now, let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drop.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Joker. There you go. Big grip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a 1st down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, 1st down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Baker going to throw again. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Now Baker on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake. Baker. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Baker. Off play action. And Adams has it complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. Here's Baker off the play fake. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Baker. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Off play action. Baker. James has got it. Complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The point after is good, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start by heading out west, State Farm Stadium in Glendale. And it's the Texans who've got the lead in the second quarter. The Texans trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we head east to check out the Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. 21-10. The final score. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Raiders. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded at the 2. A beautiful fake. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
Under 10, 10. Ready.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Didn't have a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Right back to Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ready, ready. 18 Gator.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. We got 4. We got 4.
Let's go.
Draw play for Brown. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Here we go, here we go. 16 half ball. Push him back. Push him back. Let's go.
Baker now, looking to throw on 2nd down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. This is Hunt on the draw play. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't so much that it looked like the offense was threatening. They were. I mean, they had great field position, but how about the defense on that one? Huge stop on 3rd down. It wasn't just a stop. Look at the loss of yardage, and it changes the play calling and the thought process for the offense now. Big-time play for the D, and now they have the advantage.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They usually
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Go! 10 over. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Head up.
From the gun on 3rd down. Stevenson, wide open receiver, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
91. 61, matchbox lights.
Shift, watch the shift.
On 1st and 10, Stevenson. That is caught at the 7. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Brown. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, Brown. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and run for it with Brown. And he'll be brought down with the first down, and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Baker. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st down, it's Brown. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Baker, off play action. He's got it, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a 1st down. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Brown. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their end zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. From 4 yards out. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. That time, a 9-play drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back to throw. Stevenson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Oh, he slipped right by him. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They go right back to the ground here in Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Brown. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now, it's Brown. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Baker off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So now the Niners down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. Field goals, useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. Man up, D. Man up, D.
Throwing on first down. Stevenson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught at the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for the Niners. 68 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
50, play. 56.
From the gun on third down, Stevenson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 30 days, let's go.
On first down, Brown. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
He's crashing.
He's checking back.
They'll keep it on the ground. Brown, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the victory here for Seattle, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Seahawks, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll fall